Greetings, fellow Ambazonians, wherever you find yourself in the diaspora, in ground zero, as IDPs or as prisoners of war. I want to welcome to the Ambazonian Communication Network, the ACN. My name is Capo Daniel. I am the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, which is the Defense Department of the Ambazonian Governing Council. I want to welcome you all. Today, we have a presentation for you which talks about the Cameroon government. The Cameroon colonial administration in Ambazonia have come face to face with the reality of her defeat in Ambazonia. Ambazonia have defeated La République du Cameroon. For over the past years, the Cameroon government have been telling themselves a big lie that have been broadcasted on their national television as well as presentation in foreign media. Today, we have an opportunity to take a look at the reality on the ground. Following this claim of the Cameroon government, we want to take you to the Atlantic state, precisely in the great state of Lebialem, where the colonial governor Okala Bilai of the Atlantic state have paid a visit to install, for how many times we cannot count, maybe the 10th time, a colonial SDO in Lebialem. They have been doing so across Ambazonia. Repeatedly, they have been installing colonial DO, SDO, who have all packed their bags into armored cars or into helicopters and leave Ambazonia into exile in La République du Cameroon. Cameroon have been defeated. The Ambazonian people have rejected Cameroon rule completely. So I'm going to take you, ladies and gentlemen, into the great state of Lebialem. As you know, Lebialem is a land of the Bangwa people. The Bangwa people are a great tribe in Ambazonia with a lot of history and story to tell about fighting foreign invaders. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you to the great state of Lebialem, the land of the Bangwa people in Fontem in particular, where is the capital of Lebialem. Lebialem House is a home of over 150,000 Ambazonians. As you see, it's a very urbanized area full of people. I need to take you to show you all these images because after you watch the Cameroon colonial governor, you will wonder if it is a deserted land, a land of no people, but indeed Lebialem Fontem is highly populated. Most of the liberated areas across the 14 villages in Lebialem, which are liberated areas, are fully populated by our people who are living in peace and enjoying the protection of our forces. So I will take you to an interview, a presentation made by Equinox, courtesy of Equinox, to show you and report to you exactly what is the situation on the ground.
Situation is not getting any better or hasn't changed for the better. The proof is that no son and daughter of the Lebialem division could brave the security challenges to come say welcome to the newly appointed senior divisional officer for the Lebialem division, Amber Patrick, during his installation in the Lebialem divisional chief town of Menji. It was completely deserted. Just soldiers and administrative officials who accompany Governor Bernard Okalia Bilai on military helicopter from the southwest regional chieftain Buya could be seen at the ceremonial ground, not the ceremonial ground but the SDO's office in Menji. The ceremonial ground has been taken hostage by grass, and the senior administrative officer of the southwest region, the governor, was angry, very bitter, and called on sons and daughters of the Lebialem to consider going back. He said Lebialem is the only administrative unit in Cameroon that has been completely abandoned by civil servants and the local population. Derek Jato.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to address to you what the journalists have rightly reported, which is the situation on the ground mixed with some colonial propaganda. The journalists have reported that the situation is not as good as the Cameroon government have been reporting. And it says that the situation have not changed for the better for Cameroon occupation. It is very clear from the report that things are getting worse following heavy propaganda on Cameroon social media and on their national television that since the killing of one of Ambazonian figure, Field Marshal Oliver Lequier, who was the head of the Red Dragon, that things have returned back to normal. Propaganda videos of schools being cleared was paraded on social media and on Equinox and many television network in Cameroon. And following all this propaganda, the journalist says that things is not the way it seems to be. He further says that no sons and daughters could brave the security challenges to come for the installation of this colonial SDO officer. So the issue about security changes from Cameroon. It is actually from Cameroon. I want to set the background very clearly, ladies and gentlemen, so that you understand what is going on. So they will always say is that there is because of security challenges to make all these excuses. But the Cameroon government is a very powerful military, have a very powerful military behind their back. There is no way that military can claim they cannot protect the civilian. I will show you, for example, the main reason why there is a security challenge. The security challenge comes from the presence of Cameroon military that have been terrorizing our population in Lebialem and across Ambazonia. Take a look of this video, and it will show you exactly what our people have in mind in Lebialem and across our national territory of what the Cameroon occupation forces look like. These are video footages in Lebialem showing you actions of Cameroon military, Cameroon occupation forces that was dispatched into Lebialem in 2016 by the same Okala Bilai. Okala Bilai, who published and made announcement over Cameroon radio televisions that he has driven away all the Ambazonian civilians into Nigeria, calling them Biafrans, calling our people cockroaches, rats, and dogs, preparing the way for their genocidal army, terrorist occupation forces, to descend into Lebialem to burn down. So you can see clearly the security challenge. Our people have run away from Cameroon presence, from Cameroon military personnel, because of their acts of terrorism, vandalism, to install and impose a foreign rule upon them, a foreign rule that have no legitimacy. This is the only reason why our population is running away, and our population will not come to participate in the installation of a foreign organ, a foreign colonial administration
is not getting any better,
not reflect them, and that have no legitimacy. So let's continue to watch the video footages from Equinox, and you'll see.
Our population, the Jato.
Southwest Governor Benato Kaliabilai flown down to Menji, chief town of Lebialem division, for the installation of the new senior divisional officer for the said division. This is the ceremonial grandstand, now occupied by vegetation. There is nobody here, and the installation of Amban Fabian car will take place instead at the esplanade of the SDO's office.
Population. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the picture of the situation on the ground. This is the real image that Cameroon have faced. The Cameroon government have been deceived by enablers and collaborators such as Diongote, Paul Tassang, even including Reverend Fonki, the unelected mayor or parliamentarian in places like Akwaya, Aka Martin, Stephen Gerard, Gala Gerard, and many of these enablers who have been receiving bribes from the Cameroon government to deceive them that the Ambazonian people stand with La République du Cameroon. They have relied on agents and paid agents like Sussex in Congo, like people, scammers, who have deceived them that Lebialem is under their control. After deceiving themselves, paying people with no credibility to give them reports that they want to receive, not the reality. Because I believe they have the capability to actually know what is on the field. But they want to deceive themselves, they want to live in a deception and to deceive the international community. But today, after telling the public that Lebialem have returned back to normal, that things have come back to normal, playing an old video of students clearing school campus, today, Okala Bilai, probably after they have deceived Paul Biya himself, because these false reports are probably coming even from Diongote. Paul Biya have now said that let them go and install a new colonial SDO, who happens to be one of these collaborators Bishop Andrew Carl brother, a relative. So Fabien Nka Patrick is also a relative who probably have just been recommended like hot food, like a fast food, to Mr. Paul Biya to be appointed and installed as a colonial SDO. The journalist clearly told you that Okala Bilai flew in from Boya with his civil servants. As I look behind there, there is no civil servant. Even coming from the helicopter, there is no civil servant. The Cameroon government could not even perform this ceremony at the ceremonial ground, because even the grandstand itself, you can see the grandstand itself is covered with grass. It is a complete military control that lacks legitimacy. So the Cameroon colonial governor flew in with himself as the only so-called civilian administrators with him into Lebialem, into Fontem. Fontem is the capital of Lebialem, heavily fortified. As you can see clearly, that office that they call the SDO's office, administrative office, that is not an office. It is a bunker, full and fortified with sands of barks. They are clearly in a military zone. How do you expect a population that you have terrorized, that you have intimidated, raped, killed, slaughtered, how do you expect, after performing a genocide on our public, for those same people to come back to you and see you install a so-called colonial SDO that have no legitimacy? Our people boycotted Paul Biya. We never voted for Paul Biya. Our state in itself have been recolonized with no form of unity with your country. The Cameroon government over the years have marginalized our people, cutting us up, as you can see from defile presentation that was done in Cameroon before this protest. They have marginalized us. They have attempted to absorb our territory, to exploit its resources while giving us nothing in return. The failed Cameroon state today have come face to face with genocide. Dictator Paul Biya, who ordered the killing of our people, collective punishment with impunity from his Turks terrorist occupation forces, have now come to see face to face through Okala Bilai the real rejection of the Ambazonian people in Lebialem. This is a real picture of updates from ground zero.
Population of Lebialem, in implementation of the decree that has just been read to you, this is your SDO, Mr.
So, talking to the air, Okala Bilai, with no shame, announcing to the air, reading decree, and say, this is you're talking to who? This shows you that the Cameroon administrators in Ambazonia have no legitimacy. They have not been voted by the people. They are not backed by the people. The people are not with them. For a whole colonial governor to step foot in Lebialem, in a secured area in Fontem, and there is no civil servant, even the poor Tasson that have been used to bribe them could not come to Lebialem because the people have rejected him, and our soldiers, who are outgone and outnumbered by the Cameroon military, was there to defend the land. You cannot win a foreign land. You cannot install your puppet. The Americans could not do so in Afghanistan and in Iraq. Neither were they able to do it in Vietnam, and Cameroon will certainly not be able to do it in Ambazonia. And this is the picture and latest picture of Cameroon attempt to impose her rule in Ambazonia.
Senior Divisional Officer Amba Fabian K. Take command.
Not a single civilian attended the ceremony or even seen anywhere in town. To those representing Lebialem in places,
so there was no civilian. I mean, zero. You are representing who there? Zero. The colonial governor is presenting you to who? He says, this is your SDO. Talking to who? To himself. Cameroon have lost Ambazonia. Ambazonia is gone. They have no legitimacy. The people have gone away from them. Look at the SDO.
This is the time to rescue their division.
The politicians, those who are doing politics, occupying functions on behalf of.
So this is the colonial duo talking to the TV camera of Equinox and CRTV for that matter, because the images were produced by CRTV. Actually, even the CRTV could not come to Lebialem. They actually used a military man. There was only the cameraman we could notice with a civilian cloth. I want to bring you the video from another angle that has been circulated from social media for you to see that even the people who were recording and carrying out the duty of journalists
to come back to their...
It is a military man. It is a terrorist force. Look at it. It's a terrorist force holding the microphone of the CRTV. Even the CRTV could not come to Lebialem, a liberated area. In the area in Lebialem, the only place out of the 14 villages in Lebialem that have been liberated, Fontem remains a bunker, and the Cameroon military can be seen by themselves as alienated away from the Cameroon, from the Ambazonian people. I'll take you to the original, the video produced by CRTV that have been given to the press so that you can together watch this Cameroon drama.
Situation is
Population of Lebialem, in implementation of the decree that has just been read to you. This is your SDO, Mr. Senior Divisional Officer, Fabian K. Take command.
Not a single civilian attended the ceremony.
So they are there to control their military. It is a military occupation. The population have abandoned them. If the population was the equilibrium, as they usually say, they are there for the population is not there for them. The population is not there for them. And listen,
or even seen anywhere in town, to those representing Lebialem in places.
Of this Okala Bilai terrorist
politicians, those who are doing politics or occupying functions on behalf of the people of Lebialem.
So this is the truth uncensored. So Okala Bilai has exposed what Cameroon rule in Ambazonia is all about. He's talking about the people, the politicians who are doing politics on behalf of the Lebialem people. The politicians who are doing politics on behalf of the Ambazonian people. That where are they? He's not talking about the people of Lebialem. He's talking about those enablers and collaborators, paid agents who reside in Douala and Yaoundé. These are individuals that the Cameroon government have bribed. These are the corrupt individuals who long for positions in La Republique, like Diongote, like Portasang, like Andrew Carl, like Reverend Fonky, and all of these people who do not represent the population. These are the people they want them to be there to play politics on behalf of the public. It's supposed to be the other way around. The population is supposed to elect their members. The population is supposed to be represented by people who live amongst them, who represent their aspiration, who knows their problem. You cannot bring foreigners or people who are on exile in Yaoundé and Douala to come and receive you, as they have been doing across the territory. So this shows you that those the Cameroon government call politicians and elites or representative of our people are not people who represent the people. These are those people who are playing politics to misrepresent the people, to say that they are doing it on behalf of them. So make we watch out.
They should come back to assist the administration, because no matter the courage and engagement of the SDO and his collaborator forces of law and order, they can't do anything without the population.
So he is exposing what is happening. He says the SDO, the DO, and the colonial governor, their collaborators are the Cameroon military. The administrators who come there are just people who give them a sense of legitimacy. They are bringing them there. They need that legitimacy. They need some local, some Ambazonians who are corrupt, who care less about the people, who are living in abroad, in Yaoundé, in the diaspora in Yaoundé and Douala, to come there and play politics and eat money over our people to give them legitimacy to rule our land. It will not happen.
The executive officer of the Southwest region will also accuse the elite of this land, especially those abroad, to have used the knowledge the BLM gave them to destroy their own division.
Talking of those who are in the diaspora, they have doctor this, PhD. If they didn't go to school here, they would have been claiming the title of doctors. I don't know. So why can they be so wicked?
So Okala Bilai, the colonial terrorist Okala Bilai, is actually acknowledging that it is the Ambazonians who are in the diaspora who are ruling over their people. And he actually properly tell the people and the world and the Cameroonians, if they can hear, that the Ambazonians in the diaspora, they studied there. We are not aliens like them. Listen to it again.
Claiming the title of doctors and this, PhD. If they didn't go to school here, they would have been claiming the title of doctors. I don't know. So why can they be so wicked?
So we are not people who are foreigners like they used to claim, or people who are out of touch. We grew up in our land, in Lebialem, in Mezam, in Fako, in Meme, all across Ambazonia. We from the diaspora, we are there. We grew up there, we studied there, and we have come out to see from a bird's eye that this foreign government, they mean no good to us. We don't want our children to still study that same way and end up in the diaspora. You go to the ministries, to the embassies in Yaoundé, you see long lines of Ambazonia in a country where we constitute only 20%. But to demand for visa, you find that 90% of those demanding for visas are Ambazonians. It is just recently that we have crippled their economy that you see some of their citizens traveling abroad. So we know better. It is our land. We studied there, we work that land, we eat that food. It's our people. That is why we are empowering them to express themselves and to stand for what they want.
Towards the younger generations.
This present picture of Libialem division cannot be seen elsewhere in the entire country. The Southwest governor add.
This is, I think, the only case in the Republic where a whole division has been abandoned because the civil servants, the population, have been traumatized. It is unbelievable. In the other localities, people are dreaming to have such an instrument of development, a whole division, as and I'm sitting with you. Please.
So he's talking about this their dream of a division, this their delusion of a division that makes some Ambazonians become elevated slave. That is what you see Reverend Funky and so-called Senator Aka Martin are fighting so much in Akwaya to have this division, this their dream, where they can give them money to stay in Yaoundé and they come back once in a while in the village and parade themselves and eat all the chicken they have in the village that the poor villagers have raised and go back to Yaoundé and then give Cameroon the legitimacy to continue to suck our petrol in Sonera and to exploit our farms in CDC. This is their delusion that they are after and they are selling. People dream of this division. Go and ask Gala Gerard if the people in Cambe are benefiting anything from the Cameroon state except from terrorism. Their children have to still go to school and come back and become Bensikiners. They are still going to be discriminated against. So this is the situation in Ambazonia. And Cameroon have come face to face with the rejection of our people in Lebialem, which have given a perfect picture of what has happened across our national territory. So you have seen it. You know now why the people were terrorized. They are terrorized from Cameroon terrorism. These are the same people that ordered the burning of Lebialem, burning of schools, house, killing of our people, genocide. And our people have all run away, fleeing away from this genocide there. This Cameroon terrorists who wants to kill all of our people to impose themselves and subjugate us under this so-called one Cameroon system. It will not work. It have been rejected completely by our people. And you look around the city in Lebialem, you think that people don't live in Lebialem. Excuse me. Sorry for that. You think that people don't live in Lebialem? Lebialem is house of over 150,000 people. 150,000 people who live in Lebialem. I'm going to take you to Lebialem from Fontem to Tali, an ADF control area where the Ambazonian Governing Council control. This is just few kilometers away from Fontem, which is the capital of Lebialem. So just down the road from Fontem, where Okala Bilai is, I'm going to take you there to show you a liberated area, and you see how Ambazonian people have been living in peace, happily to receive their Ambazonian fighters and Ambazonian generals. I'm also going to take you to show you the celebration of our National Day in Lebialem, so that you can compare and contrast and see who have the legitimacy. The population is not with Okala Bilai. The population is there with the Ambazonian people. They are there with the General Efang and the other Ambazonian representative of our state. So just down the line, as you can see in Tali, it's a liberated area, just few kilometers, about 10 minutes drive from Fontem. I'll try to draw a circle there so you can see the short distance between these two places. This is just Fontem there, this Fontem, and then you can see up there is Tali. Let me put a circle so that you can see the distance between both territory. So this is Tali. These are the image of Tali that are all 5 months old. This is the Supreme Commander of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, General Efang, in his visit to Tali.
Family, but we want to assure you that we are almost attending independent. There is green light at the end of the tunnel.
So our own general,
we will call it a day.
The Ambazonian forces,
God that bring us here.
The local traditional rulers are there.
Us back safely.
There.
We shall be giving.
The population are there. Our community school are going on. These are people who are coming up. They don't have any security threat. As a matter of fact, the Cameroon government threatens every Ambazonian who stands for freedom, separation, and independence. So the Ambazonians face more security challenges, more danger from the Cameroon terrorist forces than our people. But look at them. In Lebialem, with our people, our students, in liberated area, this is the life going on, and this is the image the international community have to see. Ambazonia have defeated La Republic. Our people, for the vast majority, have rejected this colonial system that is being imposed upon us. They have lost legitimacy. So this is the Cali, just few meters away from where the colonial, from Fontem, where the colonial governor was trying to install. I'll bring you some more videos for you to see the areas of Ambazonian control, with men with few guns, but with huge population behind them. This is still in Tali. Just last year, on our Independence Day,
1st October 2021 of Tali village, everything on Asiam, where they take place under the canopy of Commander Ambola, the Supreme General, big number of the Ambazonia Defense Force of Tali village. Not be easy. 21st October on a Sunday on our program with the war say Ambazonia be a country on its own. La probably not get a place for inside Ambazonia. On a tuna I on a Siam. Not be easy. La probably not get place for inside Ambazonia. Not be easy on a tuna on a Siam.
So this is in Tali, just 10-meter drive away from Fontem, with our people coming with their free will to come and celebrate with the Ambazonians fighters and the Ambazonian representative, carrying Ambazonian flags, identifying themselves with the state of Ambazonia. Cameroon have lost Ambazonia. Cameroon, the genocidal regime, who wants to use genocide to force us to stay in a system that we do not belong. You can clearly see the difference. On one hand, Okala Bilai is complaining the population is not there, asking for people who live in exile in Yaoundé and Douala to come there and misrepresent the people, while the Ambazonian forces are on the ground, the leadership on the ground, meeting with their people in their free will, coming around despite security challenges from the Cameroon terrorist forces that have made their intention clear in action and in words that their target is everybody who stand for Ambazonia. Our people, smart, made this choice to come out to greet Ambazonian flag, to stand with Ambazonia, to show that the mandate is clearly with Ambazonia. It is not with La République du Cameroon. If Okala Bilai is feeling lonely in Fontem, it's because our people are gone. All of them have gone. I would have still shown you other pictures in other states in the Atlantic state. This one is also in Nyereba.
We are rising to fall no more, to fall no more. Amba, Amba, we are rising, we are.
So these are our population.
The massive population.
So these are our mothers, our children, our brothers, our uncle, our aunties who are alive, more than 150,000 of them. Amongst them, Cameroon could not have one to come and participate in the installation of their colonial SDO. But in their thousands, they come with a free mind to greet the Ambazonian flag and celebrate their nationalism and stand up for Ambazonia. Ambazonia have rejected one Cameroon. Ambazonia have risen to fall no more. This is something you cannot defeat with guns. Cameroon should accept defeat. They should forget all their fake reports that are being fed to their president from colonial apologists like Abobala, with enablers like Diangote, Androkal, Aka Martin, Ngala Gerard, all of them. They cannot be feeding themselves with conmen and scavengers like Success Congo, Kunyam Titus, and the rest, traitors who do not represent our people. Indeed, like Okala Bilai rightly said, our people, us who have studied this land, who have worked together with our people, who are in the land where we can speak freely, we are the ones who are really expressing the aspiration and the hope of our people for a free and independent homeland, for them to exercise their right of self-determination. What we demand from Cameroon have been proven with data, scientific data, collected by somebody who supports one Cameroon, Christian Kadinatumu, who is of late, that have proven that almost 96% of our population wants absolute separation and independence from the state of Cameroon. Cameroon have failed, and they should accept defeat and let our people go. And this reality will not change. No matter how many Ambazonian soldiers they kill, they cannot kill the spirit of Ambazonia. They cannot stop our people from demanding
He's not getting
their right. So Kala Bilai, who is there alone with his soldiers, bunkered in behind sandbags in the colonial governor's SDO's office, are alone because the Ambazonian people do not want Cameroon anymore. We are tired of Cameroon politics, Cameroon marginalization, assimilation, and the attempt to recolonize our territory and absorb it forever. We have rejected this their narrative, this their reality, this their delusion, and they should stop this self-deception. They should accept the reality that the people of Ambazonia do not longer want the one Cameroon. We don't want to be associated with Cameroon. This failed project that was started by the British people in conspiracy with some other officials to undermine our self-determination have failed. We want out. We want completely out. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen.